The warning No 1B Live ED. The Galactic Council Hall floated above a blue star, calm and bright. It was a place where wars were decided with words, not weapons. Ancient races sat in high crystal seats, watching the center floor with bored eyes. Humans stood there now, small and fragile compared to the others. Their ships were weak, their worlds few, their history ignored. To the galaxy, humanity was nothing special. The human diplomat did not look afraid. He stood straight, hands behind his back, voice calm and steady. He had crossed half the galaxy to speak these words. The council speaker, a massive being of stone and light, signaled for silence. The human was allowed to speak, mostly for entertainment. The diplomat looked around the hall. He saw smiles, claws tapping, eyes filled with pride. Still, he began. He said that humans did not want war. He said humanity preferred trade, peace, and shared growth. He said humans had learned long ago the cost of endless fighting. Some council members laughed softly, others ignored him completely. A few listened, but only out of curiosity. Then the diplomat's voice changed slightly. It became slower, heavier. He warned them not to cross human space. He explained that humans were not weak. They were careful. They were quiet because they had learned when to speak and when to prepare. The council speaker interrupted. He mocked the idea of humans giving warnings. He reminded the room that humans held no powerful fleets, no ancient weapons, no legendary victories. The human diplomat nodded. He said that was true. He said humans had no legends because they survived instead of boasting. That caught a few ears. Still, the council was not impressed. A war leader from a dominant empire stood and spoke loudly. He declared that human border worlds would soon belong to stronger hands. He said resistance would be brief and forgettable. The human diplomat closed his eyes for a moment. When he opened them, his voice was firm. He said this would be the last warning. He explained that humans had rules. They avoided war when possible, but when pushed, they fought until nothing could push back. The council laughed openly now. The speaker officially rejected the warning. An order was given to begin military action. The human bowed politely. He thanked them for listening. Then he turned and walked away without another word. As he left the hall, hidden systems activated across human space. Old ships long buried in deep space began to wake. Silent engines warmed, far from the council. On a small human colony, alarms sounded. Alien warships appeared without warning. The first shots of the war were fired. The galaxy watched and expected panic. Instead, something strange happened. Human worlds went dark. No messages, no cries for help. Just silence, deep and complete. It spread like a shadow in secret command rooms. Human leaders watched the stars. No anger showed on their faces, only focus. One officer spoke a single sentence. The warning phase is over. Across space, something ancient and carefully hidden shifted into motion. Weapons designed not for conquest, but survival. The galaxy had laughed at a warning, and now humanity was done speaking. When humans stopped Tir-Kehelkianj, the first alien attack was fast and cruel. A human border outpost was burned in minutes. Cities fell, and space stations broke apart. The galaxy watched closely. Many expected humans to beg for peace. Others expected chaos and fear. None of that happened. Human emergency signals did not spread. There were no loud cries across space, no public speeches. Instead, all human communication went silent. Trade routes closed. Diplomatic channels vanished. Alien commanders smiled at this. They believed silence meant surrender. They believed humans had already lost. But inside human space, everything moved with calm order. Civilian ships evacuated planets in perfect lines. No panic, no delay. Children were sent away from the borders. Hospitals were emptied. Factories shifted purpose without announcement. Alien spies tried to understand what was happening. What they found made them uneasy. Human shipyards were alive. Ships, unlike anything in the galaxy, were leaving hidden docks. They were dark, sharp, and silent. No flags, no bright lights. These ships did not travel in large fleets. They moved alone or in small groups. They slipped through space like shadows. The first alien patrol vanished near a human system. There was no distress call, no debris. Commanders blamed technical failure. They sent a second patrol. It also vanished. Now concern spread through alien ranks. Sensors showed strange energy patterns that did not match known weapons. Then reports arrived. An entire alien supply convoy was gone. Only empty space remained. Survivors from nearby systems spoke of human ships appearing without warning. They attacked with precision. They left nothing behind. Alien officers demanded answers. They searched for captured humans to question, but there were none. Humans did not take prisoners. They did not speak during battle. They simply acted. In a distant alien command center, a young officer reviewed the data. Human strikes targeted fuel, command ships, and communication hubs. Never civilian worlds. This confused the alien leadership. Humans were fighting a clean war, a dangerous kind of war. One senior commander finally understood the truth. Humans were not angry. They were focused. The silence was not fear. It was discipline. It was control. Meanwhile, human leaders watched the war unfold. They spoke only when needed. Every word mattered. A general studied a star map. Human space had become a trap. Alien fleets were already inside it. When the next large alien fleet entered human territory, the trap closed. Space itself seemed to bend. Human ships appeared from nowhere. Attacks came from all sides. Alien shields failed one by one. The fleet was destroyed in less than an hour. The galaxy was stunned. This was no accident. Across alien space, fear began to spread. Old confidence faded. Doubt replaced pride. For the first time, the galaxy asked a question it should have asked earlier. What kind of species fights like this? Deep in human command, a quiet voice answered. This is what happens when humans stop talking. The truth about human HFY the war spread. The galaxy searched for answers. Alien scholars, generals, and spies all asked the same question. Who were humans really? They had seen the silence. They had seen the precision, but they had not seen the reason. The truth was hidden in human history. A history most of the galaxy had ignored. A history written in survival. Humans came from a violent world. Their planet was full of storms, earthquakes, and deadly creatures. Nothing on Earth was gentle. From the beginning, humans fought to live. Against cold, hunger, and disease. Even the planet tried to kill them. When humans formed tribes, they fought each other. When they built nations, they fought larger wars. Every mistake cost lives. They learned fast, or they died. They adapted, or they vanished. This shaped them. Aliens believed advanced species became peaceful. Humans proved something different. They learned restraint, not weakness. A captured alien officer sat in a human holding room. He expected torture or threats. Instead, he was given water. A human officer spoke calmly. He explained that humans hated war because they understood it too well. He showed records of human conflicts, wars that destroyed cities, wars that almost ended their species. Each war taught a lesson: never fight without reason, never stop until the threat is gone. The alien officer listened in silence. Fear slowly replaced pride. These were not stories of glory. The human continued. He explained that humans built their technology during wars: faster ships, smarter weapons, stronger defenses. Peace never made humans soft. It made them patient. It made them careful. The officer asked why humans did not warn the galaxy more clearly. The human paused, then answered simply, because warnings only work on those willing to listen. Across the stars, alien commanders reviewed old data. They saw how humans prepared in secret, how every ship had multiple roles. Human soldiers trained for loss. They trained knowing they might not return. This shocked alien minds. In most species, war was a job. For humans, it was a responsibility, a last option on the battlefield. This truth became clear. Human units did not break when surrounded. They adapted. When weapons failed, they used tools. When tools failed, they used their bodies. They kept moving forward. A senior alien general finally spoke the words others feared. Humans are a war species, but another corrected him. No, they are a survival species in human command. Leaders observed the galaxy's reaction. They knew fear was spreading, but the war was not over. A human general stood before his officers. His voice was calm, almost cold. He said one sentence: "They still think this is the worst we can do." The room remained silent. Everyone understood. Humanity had not yet shown its true strength. The galaxy starts to fear the war changed its shape. What began as confidence turned into confusion, and confusion slowly became fear. Alien fleets no longer moved freely. Every jump felt dangerous. Every shadow felt alive. Human weapons broke the rules of space combat. Their attacks passed through shields. Armor meant nothing. Alien commanders watched in horror. Ships vanished in seconds. Crews never had time to react. Human soldiers fought with cold focus. Injuries did not stop them. Losses did not slow them. When a human unit was surrounded, they did not retreat. They changed tactics. If a plan failed, another began instantly. Humans did not freeze. They adapted. Alien soldiers started to spread stories. Stories of humans fighting in burning ships. Stories of humans continuing without air. Some stories were exaggerated. Some were not. Fear made them all feel real. Entire alien systems began to pull back their defenses. Trade routes were abandoned. Borders collapsed without battles. Old alien records were opened. Legends once dismissed were re-examined. Ancient warnings were finally read. They spoke of a species that fought until the threat ended. A species that did not celebrate war, but mastered it. Alien leaders finally understood. Humans were not trying to conquer the galaxy. They were removing danger. This made them even more terrifying. Human fleets advanced with purpose. They avoided civilian worlds. They struck military targets only. Planets surrendered without resistance. Governments collapsed overnight. Empires began to fracture. In one system, an alien admiral ordered a retreat. His fleet was already damaged. His crews were exhausted. As they fled, a human message finally appeared. Simple and calm. Leave human space, and this ends. Many listened. Many survived, but the largest empire refused. Its leaders believed fear was weakness. They chose pride. They gathered their remaining strength. Ancient weapons were uncovered. A final plan was prepared. Human intelligence detected the movement. Analysts remained calm. They had expected this. In a quiet command room, a human officer spoke. Fear has reached them. Another replied softly. Fear makes mistakes. Across the galaxy, energy levels spiked. Something massive was charging. Something meant to end the war. Human fleets slowed. Positions were adjusted. Defensive lines shifted. The galaxy held its breath, not knowing who would survive what came next. Deep within human command, a final assessment appeared. They are preparing their last weapon. No celebration followed. No panic, only readiness. Because humans knew one truth. The galaxy was just learning. Fear was only the beginning. The last Mr. Katitha superweapon was unlike anything the galaxy had seen. It was ancient, massive, and fed by the energy of a dying star. Alien leaders believed it would end the war in one strike. They chose their target carefully. Not a border world, not a military base. They aimed at Earth, to the alien empire. Earth was a symbol, the home of humanity, the heart of human will. If Earth fell, they believed humans would break. Fear would turn into surrender. The war would be over. Across the galaxy, energy readings spiked. Sensors screamed warnings. Even neutral worlds felt the disturbance. Human command detected the charge instantly. There was no shouting, no confusion. Officers moved with calm precision. Screens filled with data. Calculations adjusted in real time. A young officer asked the question others feared. Is Earth in danger? The answer came quickly. Earth was never undefended. Long before the war began, humans had prepared. Earth was the most protected world in human space. Layer upon layer of hidden systems surrounded it. As the alien weapon fired, a wave of energy tore through space. The galaxy watched in silence. The beam reached the edge of the Sol system. Then something impossible happened. The energy slowed. Human defenses activated. Space bent, light, twisted. The weapon did not hit Earth. It was caught, redirected. Alien commanders stared in disbelief. Their ultimate weapon was no longer under their control. Human systems had taken over. In a final act of desperation, alien leaders tried to shut it down. They failed. The weapon turned, not toward Earth, but back toward alien space. Human AI calculated the path perfectly, avoiding civilian systems, targeting only military core. The beam fired again, this time by human choice. This time without mercy. Entire alien battle stations vanished. Command worlds lost power. Fleets were left blind and silent. The Empire's leadership collapsed in minutes. Orders conflicted. Panic spread. Some tried to flee. Some tried to surrender. Most did not understand what had happened. Across human fleets, no cheers were heard. No celebration followed. This was not victory yet. A human general watched the results in silence, then gave a final order. Advance. Human ships moved toward the alien capital world. Not in rage, not in hatred, but with purpose. The galaxy finally understood the truth. The last mistake had been made, and there would be no second chance. Congratulations. Galaxy, the alien capital world, had never known silence like this. Its skies were full of human ships, dark shapes hanging without movement. No weapons fired, no cities burned. The humans waited. The alien leadership gathered in fear. Their fleets were gone, their power broken. For the first time in their long history, they were not in control. They were being judged. A human delegation arrived, not soldiers, not conquerors. They walked through the grand halls once filled with pride, now filled with fear and regret. Every step echoed. The alien leaders expected anger. They expected punishment. They expected extinction. Instead, the human speaker's voice was calm, almost tired, like someone ending a long argument. He said humanity did not come to destroy the galaxy. They came to end a threat, nothing more. He reminded them of the warning that was laughed at, the warning that was ignored. Humans did not seek revenge. They did not seek control. They sought safety. The galaxy had chosen war. Humans had answered. Completely, across space, surviving alien fleets received the same message. Leave human space forever. Disarm and stand down. Those who obeyed were spared. Those who resisted were removed. Without hesitation, world after world accepted the terms, not out of love, but understanding. The war ended not with cheers, but with silence. A heavy silence full of lessons. Human ships withdrew from alien skies. Borders were clearly marked. Rules were written in simple words. Never attack humanity. Never threaten Earth. Never force humans to fight again. In the following cycles, the galaxy changed. Empires became cautious. Diplomacy became serious. Humanity returned to trade, to exploration, to quiet growth. But now, no one called them weak. No one mocked their warnings. No one tested their patience. Alien historians recorded the war carefully, not as a story of conquest, but as a warning to future generations. They wrote about a species born on a violent world, a species that learned control instead of cruelty, a species that fought only when pushed, and when pushed, they did not stop. They did not fail. In human space, life continued. Children played under calm skies. The stars felt safe again. A final message was added to the galactic archives, short and clear, impossible to misunderstand. Congratulations, Galaxy. You declared war, and you survived only because humans chose mercy.